Well, what up guys, I'm Dragon Crosspower, it's Mark here, and today we're going to talk about how the coronavirus has impacted the fitness industry and how it has changed the industry for the better. What do you mean for the better? As we know, a lot of things has happened, and actually the virus has actually crushed and destroyed many businesses on many different levels, and obviously gym business and fitness industry is going to hurt the most. Is one of the industries that are hurting big time. Obviously all the places being locked down, and small businesses cannot get started again, and a lot of these places, they're maybe within a month or 2 months they're already out. So don't get your Lululemon leggings in a knot. It's not all doom and gloom. Let me explain how that this thing is actually better. True that everybody's hurting at the moment. There's no doubt that a lot of businesses are really struggling now, and the reality is that a lot of guys are not going to make it, because a lot of these gyms and places, they've got a big square meter footage, huge, especially the health clubs. They got many big space, 500 to 1,000 square meter, huge operation costs, and mostly rely on turnover of more and more people coming every day. Obviously, once you cut that off, and then people once people cannot come in there, the government already said you cannot do it. So then your businesses cannot be open. So in that case, a lot of guy is bad news for them. We have to go back to the beginning of the industry so you don't understand where we are at. So for the last, say, big gyms have only been around for the last, say, 15-20 years, and then even before that, we wind the clock earlier than that. It was like just the grannies in the park. So they had elderly people in the park and professional athletes. This was in the 80s and 90s. In the 2000s, early 2000s, that's when you've seen the big box gyms started arriving. About mid 2000s, we had like the yoga studios, and then dance studios, things like that. Box, CrossFit gyms and that sort of stuff. Only in the last 10 years, all these kind of PT studios have been really started to flourish. And the gym industry only really took off in the last 5 years. So a lot of people, they didn't train before. A lot of people didn't know about fitness. So fitness itself, only the last 3 to 5 years when the industry really picked up. So before that, it was pretty much non-existent. There was only like the professional athletes, weightlifters, gymnastics, all that kind of like Team China events, Olympic events, that sort of thing, national events. And the other angle was just like the old ladies and like the old guys in the park doing their stuff. So now with the virus kicks in, basically all the parks are closed. So then you can't do any training outside there in the parks. So all the old ladies and the guys can't work out. The gyms, all the big gyms, they're already all shut down. Small studios shut down. Some guys still trying to open if they can make it, but who's going to go out? Because a lot of people are afraid of actually catching some kind of virus. So like the studio gym, if you look at it, was only just sort of in the last couple of years, and the industry itself is still relatively immature in that it's only been around for that last 5 years that it's really started to get bigger. But things like home gyms, this sort of thing is pretty much non-existent. Home gym, no one really trained at home. No one really worked out, because obviously a few reasons why that is obviously one is like most people live in high-rise apartments or really small apartments, so they don't really have a facility. Not like in Australia or US, where you actually have a backyard or like a basement where you can actually put your own setup. So this is one thing. Another thing is that people weren't really into that workout sort of, that mindset of working out. So people didn't really just go to work out on their own. That wasn't a thing that's just a big cultural difference. People didn't actually want to work out to get fit. People were going to the gyms more like as a status symbol. So this sort of thing now is changing, because obviously the virus kicks in, and Look where we are now. All the gyms are closed. People are too afraid to go out. They want to catch something. But then the emphasis on pushing to get fit or keep your immune system strong is by training and working out. And in this case, how do you do that? So the side effect of this is actually it has triggered the growth of home gym and like home gym training and like online training. These two big things, they weren't around before, or definitely weren't as significant. So actually with the virus kicking in, it's basically forced people, because you can't go to the gym, you got to stay home and work out. And some guys that weren't working out before, or they didn't think they needed to work out, now they're starting to work out. So you actually see a big spike in sales for home gym equipment and tools for training at home. And then on the other thing is like all these the online training as well. Before there was only like people just like taking off YouTube videos or whatever and just translating into Chinese or something. Now gyms or businesses, because they're closed, they're actually shooting more online videos. I'm going to do another video about this, talking specifically about online training. But to stay on point on this one, is the key point is that home training and remote training has really actually blossomed since the virus. And actually that's what kind of needed. Without the virus, that would not have happened. So this is actually a good thing. It's sort of like a blessing in disguise, really, because actually the studio gym and the big box gym, health clubs, that will come back. When the virus is gone, it's going to actually encourage more and more people to train. More people are going to be training. The big box gym is going to be open, and it's going to be a rush to get back into shape, and people want to be training again harder. But now the door is open for home training. So now you're going to see a lot more guys keeping fit, training at home, or purchasing home equipment, which before just basically didn't exist.